Hello, I'm Patty Flynn, and I'm making a deck profile on Odd Saber Dragon deck. It's also a Pendulum Dragon deck, and a Saber Dragon deck, like an Odd deck, basically. So, I use two Odd Saber Dragons, my favorite card in the deck. It's pretty good. And two Odd Dragons, like, this deck is like a updated version of the Odd Saber Dragon deck I built. I used two Herald Creation and three alexandrite dragons. Because still want some light monsters for Odd Saber Dragon to fetch, because this card is in your hand. You contribute one light monster and send it to the graveyard, and one odd ice from your hand or deck or your side of the field to the graveyard. And if you do special summon this card, when you destroy a monster by battle, send it to the graveyard. You can destroy one monster your opponent controls. So it's pretty good effect. And basically I just use, like, if the odd dragon's in my hand, like, I want to special summon, use the special summon effect, because I would probably normal summon it if I had two monsters on the field and it in my hand. But I might not, if I ever get Odd Dragon out on the field, I might not use Odd Saber Dragon's effect, because it's a okay effect. If this card destroys a opponent monster of a battle and sends it to the graveyard, and inflict damage to your opponent equal to the original half the damage of that monster in the graveyard. It's good. I also use a few tuners, like one at Saber, airbellum. It's a level 3 beast tuner. And I also use recover, because potentially you can use it twice, because of its effects. If this card is in your graveyard and your opponent has 5 or more cards in the etch deck, you can pay 2,000 life points and special summon this card, and then banish it the next time it goes to the graveyard. I also use one Decker mobile canon, because it's a good way to reuse the level 4 lowers in the graveyard, because don't get that many of those, so there's lots of high levels. I also use the calculator, and I use one black lustre and at the beginning. Right now I'm not too sure about the current ban list. I'll make another deck profile later with this deck updated to the ban list. I also use, and now it's on to the pendulum monsters I use two stargazer magicians and two timegazer magicians. And I also use one wisdome eye magician and one odd eyes pendulum dragon. My favorite pendulum in this so far, because of its effect. You can reduce the battle damage you take from an attack equal to 0 to a pendulum monster you control. During the end phase, you can destroy this card. If you do, add one pendulum monster with 15,000 or less from your deck to your hand. You can only use the pendulum effect of Odd Pendulum Dragon once per turn. And I also use one oafdragon magician. It's also a decent effect. I'm not going to read it. And I also use one nobledagon magician. It's a tuner pendulum, which is unique. And I use one polymagician, because in my etch deck I use one runized pendulum dragon. It's a decent card. And now onto the spells. I use one dark hole, basic, destroys all monsters in the field. One maleficent nuzzler, because it basically makes Odd Saber Dragon from 2,800 to 3,500. And one dragon shield, just so it's annoying for my opponent to get rid of any of the dragons I summon out onto the field. And also, it works. I believe it works with Odd Dragon, because basically destroy the monster, and they don't take battle damage, but they do take the damage in the effect. One Sky Iris, because that's what's good. I have a lot of magicians in this deck, and of odd eyes in this deck. And if the cards in your pendulum zone cannot be targeted by your opponent by a card, and like the only pendulum monsters that I have are magicians and odd eyes, so it works. Your opponent cannot destroy them, but cannot target them by card effects. You can target one other face-up monster you control, destroy it, and if you do, add one odd eyes card from your deck to your hand. So basically a good way to get any other odd eye Saber dragons or odd eyes pendulum dragon or odd eye Saber dragon to my deck. Also, I use pendulum call, discard one card, and add 2 magician pendulums. So this updates the consistency of getting pendulum monsters to your hand. For your deck, also until the end of your opponent's stats phase, they cannot be destroyed. Really, I use 1 forbidden dress. I feel like it's like I was using forbidden lands before, but I feel like this one has a less hindrance. Like it's only 600 over the 800. If it's on the ban list, then use forbidden lands. And 2 mystical space typhoons. Now onto the traps. I use 2 Call of the Hunters, 2 Trap Holes, 1 Eradicator Epidemic Virus because it's a cool trap card. Tribute 1 Dot Monster I have, and also I use it for the Tribute Dot Monster because I have BLS. I have like a few Dot Monsters in here. Do 1 Dot Monster for 2,500 or more attack. So basically, it would be Odd Eyes Dragon, like only used for, and like there's also the Dot Monsters and the Ash deck. Also, and until the type spell or trap, check your opponent's hand and all spell and trap cards they control. All the cards they draw into the end phase to the 3rd turn after this card activation, and destroy all cards of that type. So it's pretty good. Like you can, if they have a bunch of set cards, you can destroy all the trap cards, and also any trap cards they draw. Also, if they have annoying field spell, you can destroy that. Unless it's like the only spell card that really can't be destroyed would be Seal Void Calculus, but it takes a hindrance like I believe so. Like each turn, I believe that it would destroy it once. So, and I also use Mio Force, Magical Cylinder, Oriental Tribute, and Pendulum back. Newer card. If you have 2 cards in your pendulum zone, target 2 cards in your graveyard, each with a level between the pendulum scales of that card zones, and add them to your hand. And now time for my extra deck. I use 1 Rune Eyes Pendulum Dragon. It's very cool and unique. You fuse summon Odd Eyes Dragon with 1 spellcaster type dragon. Level 4 or lower, this card can attack 2 times. 5 or higher, this card can attack your monsters. 5 or higher, this monster can attack 3 times. 3 monsters during the battle phase. I also use the new spell on the synchro monster, Ultimate Tizokeen. Might be banished, it might be in the ban list. And Odd Eyes Meteor Burst Dragon. And Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon. 2 level 7 monsters, and the synchro monsters, they're pretty good. In fact, Pet's not gonna read them. He's slowly running out of time. And Armory Arm, Ancient Fairy Dragon, and Saber Uberellum, 2 of them. 1 Guy the Fierce Knight. Number C39 Utopia Ray. Number 39 Utopia, 2 of them. Number 101 Honor Shark. Silent Honor Shark, Star Liege Pyramid, and 1 Zen Master. And I also have a side deck. Powerful Rebirth, Mirage Dragon, another Timegazer Magician, another Odd Eyes, Summoner Art, Pendulum Shift, Scapegoat, Terraforming, Performance, Trump Witch. Basically a way to get polymerization. Another Stargazer Magician, Chaos Hunter, Phyllis the Dual Beast, not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, a Wyvern Metafist on Dragon, and another Duck Mobile Canon, and Formidable Skull Boat Joker. And that's my deck video. I have a few tokens to show off. Like tokens just to use for our scapegoat. And I hope you enjoyed the deck profile. And leave a like in the comment down below. And subscribe if you'd like to see more Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profiles, video games, or other game stuff.